All right, and we're back. Morse Code Podcast, episode 122, I believe. Dan Morse, Sopee pre-app. Let's get the housekeeping out of the way. Brought to you proudly by Cold River Vodka, at Cold River Vodka on Instagram and Twitter, www.coldrivervodka.com. Or if you're local, check out the distillery and tasting room in Freeport, Maine, up by the Maine outlets. Are you familiar with Freeport, Maine, Soap?
I'm not. Is it free and is it a port?
Yes and yes.
Okay.
So yes, it's a pretty good spot. Big LL Bean outlet.
Any other sites to see around there?
I think there's a Dairy Queen at like the food court center.
You're thinking of
Vineyard Vines. Definitely not. Definitely not. I did one time get those two confused and paid the price for it, so I'm definitely not going to make that mistake ever again. If you're listening, please subscribe to our podcast on Apple or Spotify. Subscribe on YouTube if you're watching, or vice versa is fine. If you're watching on YouTube, you can still go subscribe on the audio platforms.
Yeah, there's no limit. I checked.
Nope. I don't even know where.
Hero.
I don't even know where you want to start. I'm not in a great mood.
Let's start with that.
There's just a lot of weird stuff going around on the internet today. Last few days since we last been on, there's a lot of weirdos on the internet.
Yep.
Ourselves included, I guess, but
yep.
A lot of opinionated people on the internet. Again, ourselves included. I don't want to get into it too much. I know we're going to talk some Olympics anyway. I was thinking more along the basketball side because Team USA. Well, this will be like, a teaser for later in the show. I think Team USA stinks. I don't know if basketball specifically. I don't know if you agree or disagree, but we'll find out shortly. But obviously there's some stuff going on around about the USA gymnastics team. I had no idea so many people were diehard USA gymnastics fans until about like 8:06 a.m. this morning.
It's weird. It almost follows the same pattern as like political people. Every 4 years.
I always say I don't like to, politicize the vaccine debate, but more so than ever, it's politicization of gymnastics as well. But here's what it is. I didn't catch a name. Some U.S. gymnast decided to take a step back, let her team handle the rest. I think they still won like the silver medal, but that's of course not important to anyone that we're referring to. So I don't know. Weird day. Had to follow a lot of that stuff. Got into it with some Clay Travis followers. Typical Tuesday at the office.
Yep.
Was going back and forth on the U.S. men's basketball versus Iran money line tonight. Didn't know if I wanted to put my whole mortgage or just half my mortgage on the Iran money line. Have until about 12:30 this morning to finalize that decision. So we'll see.
I'm wagering the entire United States on that bet.
The U.S. debt on that bet. Solve the debt, win the bet.
Bet the debt.
Bet the like whatever it's up to, $100 trillion. I think I remember it was either mixtape or something. I think it was a Barstool podcast. They started talking about the debt one day. And it's like just such an astronomical thing I'm never going to understand.
Yeah.
I'll never understand like the US debt. Like it's in the trillions. A, how you get to that point, and B, like what that even means. Like they're set up on like a monthly payment plan where it's like they call in and they can make like the minimum payment and just stretch out like the interest longer. Or
yeah, like have they ever made any headway on it?
I don't think they've chipped away at it at all since like 1700. I don't know when it started. I don't know when they first like borrowed that first dollar, but it's been all downhill from there. As long as I can remember, we've been in a crazy debt.
I feel bad getting like a tank of gas on my credit card.
Good grief. No kidding. Imagine like going to like apply for a loan or a mortgage or something, and they ask you what your debt to income ratio is. Like I make like 85 grand a year. But I should note I am $4.6 trillion in the hole amongst various credit cards and just lending out money to other countries, I guess. I don't know. Like I lent $1 trillion worth of, I don't know, war missiles to a couple countries back in like the mid 2000s. But I don't know. I do have 20% down for the house. I don't know if that is good enough to get me through, but
I also have no history of showing that I can pay any of this back.
How could you?
I don't have a credit line because I've never shown that I can make a payment. I've never had to for some strange reason.
Again, I didn't expect to get into too much foreign policy talk this early, but I don't know how like that. How do those negotiations even like start? Like if we're this much in debt, who is up? Like what? Some country has to be up at least billions. The whole world just can't be in this debt to each other. I feel like if that's the case, you would just squash it.
Yeah, if everyone's in debt, then no one's in debt.
Right. Or just see, I guess, whoever's in the least amount of debt is on top and can just, I don't know, rule it out. Like imagine if, let's just say to make the number simple, we owed one party $3 trillion and they cut $1 trillion off. We would still owe them $2 trillion. I don't know. I think, wasn't Spencer Dinwiddie the one who brought this up? Like a while ago going into the bubble. I think he wanted to put like something on his jersey about the U.S. debt problem.
Yeah, I think he wanted that to be his number, was the actual like amount of debt.
That's a lot of zeros. That's
whatever
a lot of numbers. Yeah.
Maybe, what if you could pay back your debt in the form of gold medals at the Olympics?
Not enough.
Every time you win one.
Cut off a bill.
$500 billion.
Yeah. $10 trillion per medal. Or $10 billion per medal, rather. Yeah.
Okay, so now now in this case, I do have a beef with Simone Biles.
That's true. She's costing us a lot more than you'd think.
What do you do?
I'm curious. I mean, it is a gold medal. It has to have an actual value.
That's what I'm saying.
I would just be like, hey, simply instead of giving me this gold medal, just like knock it off my tab. Like, just keep it.
Can we put this?
Got to be worth. Yeah, it's got to be worth at least a few bucks. $30. I don't know.
Save me on the shipping and handling.
Yeah.
We'll send it to you anyways.
Speaking of saving on shipping and handling, our merch store is still on sale. I mean, we are in not trillions, but billions of debt with what we've invested in this company. So any sale, any help helps. So I don't know. Just thought I'd throw that out there. Great segue. Where were we? Let's go through what we got for the notes tonight. So I don't want to get too much into the Olympic stuff from today. It's just going to upset me. What else happened today that got me so pissed off? What were we talking about today? Maybe that was it, I guess. I don't know. I guess that was it. Do you have any thoughts on the men's Olympic basketball team? Impressed so far with how they look?
Yeah, impressed by the...
Speaking of gold medals, something that's probably not going to happen. They're not doing us any favors either.
No, and that's like 15 people that we can blame. So...
Mostly Draymond Green, but yeah, there's a lot of blame to be put around.
There's definitely a lot of trickeration going on with that team. I'll be honest, I haven't watched a single game. I've seen a couple highlights, but if it's coming out that they're like, number one, they're blaming Greg Popovich is one story I've seen. And number two, they're talking about like the lack of rest and stuff.
Yeah, Greg Popovich,
fair.
Bomb.
But like, you still can't be losing. Maybe you win by like 15 as opposed to 40.
Losing? Exactly. Yeah. Like they're losing games. They're being outscored by the other team. That's unacceptable. You're right. Like if they lost by 15, we'd probably be having the same conversations. Like, is USA in trouble to like not cover a spread, let alone losing a game?
I see.
That's terrible.
The funniest graphic is when they show like the best players from the other countries, and it would be like, Team Australia has fucking Patty Mills, Matthew Dellavedova, Matisse Thybulle. Okay, cool. Those are like the 9th and 10th guys on an NBA team.
They can't play on one of 30 in the NBA. Yeah, exactly.
I don't even know where the fuck Dellavedova is playing now. He's probably like a crocodile hunter or something back in Australia.
I actually thought he was on Milwaukee and got hurt. But maybe I'm thinking of the other guy who looks like DiVincenzo, who definitely was on Milwaukee and got hurt.
Yeah, you're thinking of the big ragu.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a tough look, bro. Like, couldn't have been a worse team to lose to opening up than France. Just couldn't be.
No.
Rudy, Evan Fournier playing for a contract in the Olympics. Who's the other NBA player that's on France? I thought there was
Batum.
another one. Nicholas Batum. Oh, Jesus. Marion Joseph. Nicholas Batum. Yeah, I don't know. At one point in time, Giannis is ceiling Nicholas Batum.
And then
That's a tough one.
when you see like the Instagram post where it'd be a picture of the player with the quote next to them, and it's Evan Fournier trash talking Team USA. Yeah,
Jeez, Louise.
you're not in a good spot.
No, not great. I mean, well, it's interesting because it's like I remember we looked at this roster going into the Olympics and we're like, oh, that's a great roster. They're going to win every game by like 30. And there are good players on Team USA, but I didn't really think about it till, I don't know, I was listening to a podcast or something, and they were comparing it to the other Olympic teams. It's not that good. Like, it's not as good. Like, some of the other teams were literally thinking London was what? Like Kobe, LeBron, Melo, Chris Paul, like first team is basically the first 1 through 3 all NBA teams.
Westbrook.
KD was there. Westbrook was there. Was Harrison Barnes on that team, or was he on the one before?
He was on the one after.
Okay.
16.
What was the bad one?
04.
And then the redemption year was 08, right?
Yeah.
Was 08 London?
08.
I thought that was 12.
Let me see here. Yeah, London was 12. Beijing was 16.
Yep.
08 was fuck.
Was that the one with Pierce?
No, he just played in like the in-between years.
Like FIBA. Like FIBA. Yeah, that's right. It was probably among those same guys. What was Anthony Davis?
He was
16 or 12. He was super young when he played, so it could have been
12.
12. Yeah, when he was 12. That's right. Oh boy. Anyway, I don't know. I mean, they play Iran tonight. They need to win by 50 tonight to feel some positive momentum going forward. They really do. It's just tough. It's like, so you look at the team now, and like you said, like rest. Okay, that's the case for maybe a few guys who weren't. Actually, Drew Holiday was probably the best player on the court on Sunday. And I think he got off the plane like Saturday after winning the finals. I don't think Book played much, and I don't think Middleton played too much. I think Kevin Durant had 10 points. I saw a lot of Damian Lillard on the court. I saw what I thought seemed like a lot of Zach LaVine on the court. I don't know who is it. Center, probably Bam played a lot in the 5. And it's tough because like any other game you can say, oh, it's like a tough matchup, but I don't think it is. Like we're like 75% of these teams are non-NBA players. So A, we don't know anything about them, and B, how good can they be? Iran, I think we found out, does have one NBA player, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The fact that we don't know who it is probably.
And that's it.
Say. Yeah.
That's all we know.
Like I said, I'll be on. I don't know what our following is like in Iran, but I genuinely don't know enough about their basketball team to really speak into the. Like, I don't know if you were planning on breaking down matchups for like 45 minutes, unless you want to save that for Patreon.
I was going to say be careful because Cold River vodka is very big in Iran.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, and again, it's on at like 12:40 a.m. tonight. I can see, I know it's not going to happen, but imagine, Tatum. That's the other one who played like shit the other day. I don't know what happens if I wake up and check my phone and it's like 106, 101 Iran. I think we'd go to war. Or like, I don't know. They would just quit.
Persian Gulf all over again.
No kidding. Good grief. World War III started at freaking Tokyo Olympics.
Wait, how many games have they played that have counted, and what's their record?
1. 0-1.
Oh,
France was the first game. Those were just qualifiers.
Oh, okay. So France was
Sunday? Correct.
Damn.
It was like they're in like, it's like group play. So they're in a group of 4. You got to win a certain the thing. It's like this has never been a conversation because it's just like they win every game until eventually the last game they win is the gold medal game.
So, and how many qualifying games did they play? Was it 2?
Something like that. I think they lost 2 and won 1. I think they beat Argentina.
And lost to like Nigeria and Australia, right?
Nigeria and I think Australia. Ben Simmons lost Australia.
Wow.
So they caught a break there. Then have to worry about getting clamped down by Ben Simmons for 40 minutes, however long. Do you like Olympic gameplay?
Yeah, I think I like the style of reffing.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Difference.
Everything else just looks weird. I don't like the colored ball. It is weird with no fans too. And I don't know. It doesn't sound like you watch too much on Sunday. I don't know if they were just on like the B court or something, but like the rim sounded like shit. The presentation wasn't great. And I get it. It was in Tokyo and I was watching it in America, and they were on like, social distancing guidelines out there, but that's everything. I mean, I woke up to watch it. I mean, I'm up before that anyway, but I went to go watch it. I was all excited. Like I set my son up with his iPad, and then I can't find it on TV. Then I see it's on Peacock, and I go to get Peacock, and I see it's $5 a month with ads. So that's obviously not thrilled about that. And then someone tweeted out, I think it was Hurricane who retweeted it, but I saw on Twitter, if you download the NBC Sports app, you can log in with your cable provider and watch anything on Peacock on that app as part of your cable package. So that was clutch. So anyway,
very nice of Hurricane.
Yeah. So then I had to log in and watch the rest of that game, unfortunately, but tough luck. I don't know. I still think they can win the gold medal. They have the best team there. They have the best collection of players there, obviously. They just got to figure out how to win a few games, and then I think they'll be good. So if I had to bet, I honestly think they'll win gold. I don't think they'll lose again, but tough start. And then it's a big matchup with Iran tonight.
It is funny the whole Devin Booker, Middleton, Drew Holiday thing, flying over together.
Very uncomfortable.
And then I don't know if someone tweeted this or if it was Devin Booker that posted it himself, but didn't someone say like, wow, that was a long flight? And I could have sworn it was Devin Booker being like,
probably,
yeah, that sucked. Fresh off of these guys whooping my ass for 4 games straight.
Yeah, no kidding. I wonder what they like talked about. I wonder if it was like in Last Dance when they're just like playing cards and betting on various things. Speaking of Last Dance, do you often confuse Davante Adams and Scottie Pippen? Like a lot of us do.
I came close.
I often do. I mean, I think we talked last week about the confusion between Milwaukee and Greece, which is all too common, but that was a weird one. I think you pointed that out, how weird it was. At first, I thought it was kind of cool. Like, I guess they were just saying, hey, we're coming back for one more year. But I don't know. I think if we really took like 3 or 4 hours and broke it down, I bet we could find some differences between the Bulls of the 90s and the Packers of the 2010s.
Big time.
Yeah.
Especially just off of that picture. The fact that those guys both, if anyone hasn't seen it, Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams both tweeted the same picture of Jordan like dapping up Scottie, being like, all right, we're gonna do this one more time.
One last dance.
Yeah. Davante Adams has played 7 years in the NFL. And if we're gonna compare his present day to 1998 Scottie Pippen, which is when that picture was taken.
Sure.
Davante Adams played 7 seasons. Scottie Pippen has 5 titles. Aside from that, they're identical, so I can see the confusion. Yeah,
and the Aaron Rodgers Michael Jordan comparison speaks for itself. But yeah, I just thought the Davante Adams Scottie Pippen one was weird. Actually, now I think about it, Aaron Rodgers and Michael Jordan are vastly different as well, mostly because championships and pretty much everything else you could possibly distinguish between the two. But I knew this was going to happen. Like, Aaron Rodgers is back today. It's all just going to happen as usual. He's going to come in. They'll probably have an incredibly disappointing season. They'll go like 14-2 and then lose to like the Seahawks in the NFC Championship. Something will happen and Aaron Rodgers will get upset. But at least now he can go to another team after this year, is what it sounds like. And that was the other thing I heard all day, or like recently. It's like, well, what's going to happen to Aaron Rodgers' market now that he's known as a crybaby and this and that? It's like, that's Aaron Rodgers. Someone's going to sign him next year.
Yeah.
He'll be, he's going to be picked up in a second, whether it's a trade or a sign. I forget what the scenario will be. Depending on how this season goes in New England, I would pick him up in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Unless Cam Newton somehow Cam Newton would have to win most improved player. or comeback player of the year, whatever they want to distinguish him having a good season as. I'd almost rack it up as comeback
Super
player.
Bowl.
Oh, that's a minimum. He'll definitely have to do that.
Yeah.
But he'll have to win the Super Bowl, but he'll also have to have like an incredible year. He's gonna have to put up like Dan Marino passing numbers with like Michael Vick rushing numbers and like Troy Polamalu tackle numbers all in one. So
and Jake Bailey punting numbers.
Yeah, that's the slept on stat. I can see him. I don't know if you saw today. He's studying his playbook.
Yeah.
He's all in. He's in the back of his car, smoking stogies and studying Patriots install. He's doing his part.
Yeah. Comeback season.
AKA the bare minimum. I think how many weeks into the year till it gets widely marketed as like revenge tour for Cam Newton? Week 3, if they're 3-0.
Yeah, if he plays decent games.
Yeah,
probably 3.
Going into the Bucs game. Oh boy,
because people are going to jump on that headline.
I can't wait to see that spread. The point spread, not like the pregame meal that they serve the players and the media.
I thought you meant even something else entirely.
No, definitely. I know what you meant, but I didn't mean that. I meant the point spread. In New England, boy. Say they're both 3-0 and look good. In New England. Imagine if it's like Bucs -3 in New England. That's basically like a pick 'em.
Yeah.
That'd be tough. I'm going to say.
Luckily, it's going to be Bucs -10.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Vegas isn't going to bother putting out odds. Not handicapable. Incapable to handicap. I would say right now, late July, with really no idea of what could happen, I'd say Bucs -6 is probably fair on the road in New England.
Yeah.
I can't see it getting closer than that. I do think, I think they'll both be 3-0 going into that game. I think when we looked at the Patriots schedule at one point, it's really not too bad. But yeah, I don't know. Aaron Rodgers showed up today. Looked good. Looked ready to go. Flip-flops and a ponytail. Fucking Kevin Malone t-shirt and Brett the Hitman Hart sunglasses. So just oozing confidence. I think he's going to have a great year too. I think he'll have another like great fantasy year. Like I said, it's just like, I haven't seen anything in the last 10 to 15 years that gives me any confidence that team's going to get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
In the Super Bowl. Too many inevitables.
I think the team's going to have a good year record-wise. I think he's going to put up numbers because I don't think he's ever been known to have like any beefs with his teammates, unlike I know people compare it to Brady's last year, but Brady just fucking hated the rookies. I don't think that's a thing as much with Aaron Rodgers. So
no, he hates the GM. He hates his bosses, which is very Last Dance-esque, actually. That's probably the closest comparison.
I mean, it's relatable. I can get it, but
yeah, sure.
I think, yeah, he's going to put up some good numbers, and he's playing with house money. At this point, he's like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I am under no pressure. This city already hates me.
That's the thing. Yeah. It's not a contract year because you're Aaron Rodgers. Like, you would literally have to have like a Cam Newton type year to have any dip in your stock going into next year. So you can do whatever he wants next year. He has a chance. I mean, he has a chance to win a Super Bowl this year, but again, it's weird. Like, he's trying to win a Super Bowl for a team he doesn't like, or like for a place he doesn't want to be. Very strange. I don't know.
Like, do you even?
He'll do it for his teammates and himself, but like it's not like. Well, actually, it is a huge legacy thing. He needs another ring desperately.
Well, I wonder if you were like to give him truth serum and he had to be honest, what would be? How are his feelings present day towards the fans? I'd be very curious.
I don't think it's about the fans, like you said. I don't think it's about the fans or his teammates. I don't think so either. Just doesn't want to be there. He didn't want to. He wanted to see like another option because he didn't get along with his boss, and it wasn't a money thing because that story came out. They offered him like a max contract. So I really don't know what he wants. I think he just like wants a Super Bowl, like with an asterisk, like without having to like win the Super Bowl game.
Well, I was thinking about this because like I know that the destination's going into, actually maybe it's just like earlier this offseason or last offseason. I can't remember, but like his thing against the Packers has been alive for a little while. The destinations that were supposedly in on him.
Mm-hmm.
It was something like Denver,
yeah,
New Orleans, and then I want to say somewhere it was like before they signed Phillip Rivers that Indianapolis would be a good destination.
Carolina, they said, could have done it. There were like a few teams that could have done it.
But imagine
New England.
Imagine if these so-called destination places in the NFL were to switch places with the NBA, meaning like imagine if the NBA's destination cities were Denver. I think I heard Denver, New Orleans,
yeah,
Indiana.
I really want to get some shots up at the Smoothie King Center before I hang them up. Or the Pepsi Arena.
Yeah. If you flip it and go cities, so like instead of wanting to go to the Brooklyn Nets, you want to go to the Jets or the Giants, or instead of the Heat, you want to go to the fucking Dolphins.
I want to have my MetLife moment before I retire.
Instead of the Lakers, you want to go to the Rams or the those aren't as bad.
That's fine.
At least been decent.
Sure.
But it's just funny that those are complete opposites in those leagues.
It's just funny because this, like, again, this year is going to be no different than any other Packers year for the last 10 years. They're going to be good. Aaron Rodgers is going to have great numbers. Davante Adams will probably have a great year too because he's very good. But I'm curious. I'm really curious if this Last Dance thing plays out during the season. I hope I never see or hear from it again. But that would get interesting if they get to like 6-0, and it's like now it's him. Now Aaron Jones is posting pictures of like BJ Armstrong, and Randall Cobb is posting pictures of Steve Kerr like on their timeline, and they show up to the game in like Bulls jerseys, and it's just like, geez, like this is tough day in Milwaukee. Be great for the city. No,
I did not understand that Aaron Rodgers was like, if Randall Cobb isn't back here, then we fucking riot.
Yeah, and I think he is coming back. I'm pretty sure that's like being finalized as we speak.
Confirmed by old friend of the program, Trey Wingo.
Yeah. I mean, Randall Cobb, it's tough. Randall Cobb's one of those receivers where you don't know if he's good or not until he doesn't play with Aaron Rodgers. Very similar to players in New England.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Randall Cobb will put up great numbers because he's, I'm in his Football Reference. He's on a good team that can get him open. So let's see. I mean, Randall Cobb in Green Bay, it's his 10th year in the league. Kind of old for a receiver. What's he have here? One-time Pro Bowl.
He's been on the Cowboys, right?
He went to Dallas, and then he was on Houston last year, but I don't even think he played. Yeah, he did play. My bad. 2 games he started in. 48 targets, 38 catches. These are N'Keal Harry numbers. 441 catches. So let's see. Damn, 2014, he had 16 touchdowns. 1,200 yards, 16 touchdowns with Aaron Rodgers throwing to him. But he leaves, plays with Dak Prescott.
Yeah, and with Jordy Nelson taking up like the other
and Jordy
side.
Nelson too. That's the thing about football, like especially from like a fantasy perspective. Those number 2 receivers are often going to be better options because they just have so much heat taken off of them. And Jordy Nelson was good too. I think, in a vacuum, Jordy Nelson's a better receiver than Randall Cobb anyway. But he's also getting that extra coverage on him. So I don't know. How old is he? Probably like 32. He's 30. So a 30-year-old Randall Cobb is what got the deal done. Whatever. I mean, if you're the Packers, I guess you have to make it happen. I can't imagine he's demanding like too much money.
Yeah, this would be like Jordan wanting Horace Grant back. Like, I'm not showing up if I don't see those fucking goggles day one.
Yeah. If Randall Cobb shows up to training camp with a pair of sport goggles on, I might cancel my NFL Network package.
I
can't look at that.
I thought you were going to get season tickets.
Nah, I'm not going to sell those quite yet. I'm still going to diamond hands hang on to those. What was I going to say? Yeah, it's basically similar to like when Mike was like, hey, if Phil's not the coach next year, I'm not coming back.
Yeah.
If Randall Cobb's not in that slot, I'm not coming back. If I don't look out to my right and see Randall Cobb, consider season over. Tell Jordan Love to warm up because I am not coming in the game. I'm going to go hang out with my friends in Hawaii and drink coconuts and play fucking guitar because that's what I want to do. I'm a man with simple requests. It's similar to remember there's a scene in The Wire when who was it? Remember that guy Cuddy, the guy who came back and like opened the boxing gym for kids?
Mm-hmm.
He tried to like go clean. So he's trying to open that gym and he goes to Avon to like ask him for money. And he sits down with Avon. He talks to him for like 10 minutes, like showing him magazines and stuff. And he's like, all right, man. All right. Like, how much money do you need? He's like, well, all in all, it's going to come out to like $10,000. And then everyone looks around and starts like hysterically laughing at him. Like, man, just like break this guy off $20K cash and like get out of my office. Like, stop wasting my time. Like we could have solved this like hours ago. You want Randall Cobb? Fine. Here's a veteran minimum. Like, welcome back. Your locker's right where you left it. So I don't know. I mean, I don't think there's anything else to it. Like, I hope there's not this big last dance thing, but that's what I was going to say. Back when the original posted, I thought it was just kind of a cool homage. Like, hey, like we're both coming back, but this is not to sound like Felger and Maz, but like this is how people talk now, like emojis and like weird cryptic posts on Instagram. Mm-hmm. And then it was finalized today, like I said, when he strolled into work, but we'll see. I think he's 38 this year. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
36. So. That's old. Like he's going to start in it. That's like Peyton Manning, like going to the Broncos. Like that's pretty old. He might get one good season like Peyton Manning did, but I don't know what kind of contract he's going to get.
Dude, his one Super Bowl win was over a decade ago.
I was in college.
Yeah. We watched it together actually at the Lee house.
Correct. It was so long. That was the year before we lived in that house though.
Oh, it was?
We went to, I remember that. We watched it at the kids who lived there the year before us.
Okay.
The year I lived there, that might have been it actually. I remember I watched, so college freshman year was Patriots Giants.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
Sophomore year, I think was Cardinals Steelers. I think I watched that at Dice's. Junior year, I think was Rodgers. Senior year, I don't remember. 2011? What was the 2011 Super Bowl? It was the year before Pats Giants too.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Wait a minute.
I could be wrong here. I know for a fact Steelers Cardinals was sophomore year, so it's basically whatever 2011 Super Bowl was.
Yeah, I just don't remember what junior year would have been.
Oh, maybe it was. Yeah, 2011 was Packers. So hold the phone. If you're listening, feel free to go do something while I look this up.
Yeah, so subscribe to another show if you'd like.
Saints Colts. That was junior year. That's right.
Okay.
That's right. Great game. That was the year when the Saints got paid under the table to eliminate the opposing quarterbacks. That's right. That was a good year. That was a good game. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'm curious to be – go ahead.
I was just going to say that was the year where if Brett Favre had any chance of not having CTE for the rest of his life.
That was a great game, dude.
They permanently mushed his brain into fucking,
you know what?
Like baby food.
That would come full circle. Like Rodgers getting to the end of his time in Green Bay, Jordan Love starting to rise as a potential suitor or, replacement, and then him going somewhere else, having a good season. Because I think Favre had a decent – actually, he went to the Jets first, didn't he? Did he go to the Jets first or the Vikings? Must have been the Vikings. I thought he was better on the Vikings, though.
He was.
So I can't imagine that's after the Jets.
Yeah, Jets have been pretty bad.
This guy's troubling, too. Yeah, Jets for a year. Good grief. It's tough to go to the Jets and be good. I can't remember the last time it happened.
Is he? This might be a hot take. Is he maybe perhaps the first real major like player empowerment figure?
What do you mean?
No, in terms of him like holding the team hostage every summer, saying whether or not he's going to come back.
Yeah, I think he retired like 2 or 3 times. I think is Brett Favre overrated? Oh no, never mind. He's pretty good. 11 Pro Bowls, 3-time All-Pro. Ah, jeez. Offensive Player of the Year, 1995 Burt Bell Award. What the fuck is this? That's a made-up award.
Dick Picture Award.
The Wrangler Jeans Most Improved Player of the Year.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he's got the Copper Fit Comeback Player of the Year.
Copper Fit Comeback Player of the Year. Yep. We're going to go live to the Copper Fit hotline. We got Brett on the phone.
He's very much against knees touching the ground, right?
For a guy who's heavily invested in products that protect your knees, boy, is he against an activity that would cause you to need one.
Yeah.
What a missed opportunity there.
Seriously.
Jeez. Hey, Colin, your knees are looking a little worn. Have you tried Copperfit? Use product code Brett Favre at checkout to get 15% off. What a sellout that would be. I'm waiting for one of these guys to just completely just come clean and be like, you know what? Like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I really don't, you know what I mean? Like either extreme right wing or extreme left wing guy, just be like, I'm fucking done with this facade. I really can't keep doing this. I don't believe this is true. And I'm missing out on a lot of money. So screw it. You know what? Let them kneel. Let them do what they want. Just tell them Brett Favre sent you at checkout for 10% off. Oh boy, that's a tough one. I wonder who the first one is. I'm waiting for Skip Bayless to just go off script and be like, I can't hold this any longer. I actually think LeBron James is pretty good at basketball.
Yeah, secretly, I'm signed to Clutch, by the way.
Yeah. Rich Paul just comes out and daps him up.
Or he rips his mask off and he is Rich Paul.
He is Rich Paul, yeah. You see him just post a picture one morning. Oh, can't lose in these shoes. Just like the South Beach LeBron 8s. Oh, boy.
Oh.
Yeah, go ahead.
Real quick, just before we get off of completely
yeah,
this is a topic ago, but the Olympics.
Now we can move on.
I wanted to say, not to steal a take from Felger and Maz, but I actually think they had a good basketball take today, which was that the whole Jason Tatum. Did you see that he tweeted out the leprechaun emoji?
Oh yeah, sausage emoji. Yep.
Wait, sausage emoji too?
No.
Oh.
No.
Yeah, it was. Oh, sorry, not leprechaun, but the 4-leaf clover emoji or whatever. When the story came out about.
Yeah, that was a while ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was at least a few days ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was in response to Beal saying that if he was to be traded, Boston would be in his list of destinations. At this point, I he's going to be a Celtic. I can't be convinced otherwise. But I thought their point that they made about that being a really good look for the Celtics in terms of, oh wow, Jason Tatum's actually
I heard that too,
vocalizing his support not only for his own benefit but specifically the team.
Definitely,
that is a pretty big step for him for
a young kid. I would agree too. I would agree. I think that would cement. I hope Tatum does a Giannis contract, just settles all debate. Hey, I'm here 5 years. I know it's not going to be for a while, but just get that out of the way. Yeah. And I think Beal would help. And then a potential free agent next year. I just don't want Jaylen Brown a part of it because I just think that's a wash for the most part.
So that was the second part that they brought up, which was, okay, if Jason Tatum's tweeting that and Jaylen Brown sees it, is he thinking, wow, that's cool that you want your friend Bradley Beal to be here, but I'm
the best asset.
Yeah, but that means that you're totally cool with me being traded. I thought I didn't like that point because I think.
Oh, I agree.
I think Brown and Tatum both want at least for Beal to be the third.
Was Beal an all-star this year with them? Or did he get snubbed again?
I think that was a snub.
I was going to say they'd all hang out at the all-star game, but yeah, I don't think that either. I think we could look at it two ways. I think the other thing they said on the same show was if they do move Brown as part of the package for Beal, you can get the third guy next year, but you already have two young guys who I think like being in Boston. I haven't really heard much otherwise. There's definitely packages I think they could get it done. Because the other thing they mentioned was, I think the other, if we're talking about the same segment, the other thing they mentioned was they basically said the Warriors don't have a package that would work. So you're right. He's openly saying I want to go here as opposed to there. Yeah. So I think that's going to help drive down the cost for Beal because they're in a situation I think you said this last time. It's these players basically are saying where I want to go, and then you just have to get something's better than nothing. So I could see it being Smart, Picks, Langford. The biggest assets are probably Rob Williams and Jaylen Brown. And if one has to go, I'd probably say Rob Williams, which stinks.
Yeah.
But it's Bradley Beal. They're not going to get him for nothing. So I still think that'd be an interesting three on the court.
I do too, but maybe
I
because
don't
at least two of them are friends, then they'll figure out the rest. Because most of the time it does work pretty well. Like, yeah, the
know.
Nets didn't win this year, but if they weren't injured, who's to say that they wouldn't have?
Oh, they would have won. Yeah.
And
they would have swept the Suns too if they beat the Bucks. So yeah, I know what you mean.
I feel like it's a mere formality at this point, whether it's this year or next summer.
Well, of course, you have to go so far backwards for him not to get on the Celtics. It's already public. This is where he wants to go.
Yeah.
So not only do you have to burn that bridge, you have to build another one to another team. So,
and most guys don't get like guys have been linked to the Celtics before, but that's mainly because of like Danny Ainge fucking leaking stories or whatever. Usually guys don't say outright that they would be welcome or open to coming to the Celtics. I think the last guy was Kyrie.
Correct.
And it happened out of nowhere. And then he was a Celtic.
And then he left and he was miserable. But yeah.
So round 2, here we go.
But Beal doesn't play point guard, does he?
No.
Okay. So
he's very much a shooting guard.
Yeah. Other people have talked about contract for contract bringing over Westbrook and Beal if they can find another shitty contract to give Washington, or take a shitty contract, I guess would be Westbrook's. I don't know how that would work, but that would be a sick team. I would love that. Westbrook, Beal, Tatum, and Brown, and Rob Williams. It's your start. Or no, Rob would get traded. No bench. Tristan Thompson would be the 5. Aaron Neesmith would get rotations at the 4 off the bench.
Yep.
And Peyton Pritchard would play a stretch 4. A point 4. I don't know. We'll see.
Scal would be playing again.
I don't know when it's going to happen. You think it happens like around the draft? So if they want to use picks for this, I mean, there's not much draft picks for this year they can use.
It seems to be building that way. Like if it doesn't happen
sick.
Before the draft, then I think it won't happen.
It's a couple days.
Year. Yeah.
Oh, I would hate to see Jaylen Brown get traded on draft night. That would fucking stink.
Yeah.
That would be a tough one.
I mean, because you can see his rise, like you can easily see him rising for the next like 5 more years.
Mm-hmm. And he's just such like he's my favorite Celtics player. And I think there's just so much other stuff. I think he's someone that Boston needs. Like he was the first guy to come out and really, I think, appropriately verbalize like the Kyrie comments. Mm-hmm. He's obviously a big social justice guy. He's a big social justice guy, but he's not in your face about it. Like when he gets asked questions, he answers the questions. If he's out at a protest and he's on Instagram, he's out at a protest on Instagram. Like, you know what I mean? It kind of is what it is. I think he's a great fit. I think he's a great player. He's younger, plays defense. But having a scorer like a Beal would be great. Cause I also think, Tatum's on, I think the same trajectory as Jaylen. I mean, he's no reason he won't get better and better for at least 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
So you could potentially have 2 30-point potential, like 2 guys who have the potential to get 30 a night on the team, which would be great. And then you have Jaylen Brown, and then you just got to figure out the rest. So if they lose Smart, Rob Williams, and I don't know, I don't even know what they have for picks, but I don't know. I'd like to get a point guard. I think it'd be nice to play with a point guard on the floor.
It's been a while since we've seen that.
It's been
what the hell that would look like.
Quite a while. I don't know. We're coming up on time. You said you had a story. I think we have time for story time.
Sure.
You want to do that tonight?
I got a story. We'll save the Giannis thing for next time.
Okay.
Sure.
Go ahead.
All right. So a couple years ago, there's no sports relation here. So if you guys aren't interested, tune out.
Muted. Good.
A couple years ago, I worked at a company where it was a pretty big company, staffing company, and I think like 300 employees. And they would do this thing that they had a lot of like, I don't know, for lack of a better word, just corny, like camaraderie, team building type stuff. And one of the things that they would do every week, I think it was on Friday, was they would send out a company email, and it would be, they would ask the first 5 people to send in like their baby pictures. And then
classic.
Yeah, you send in your baby pictures, and you couldn't be older than, let's say, 2 or 3 years old. And then by that time next week, the rest of the company had a chance to try to guess who was in the picture.
Yep. Oh yeah.
I had only been in the company for like a few months, So I get this email. I did not submit mine. There were like, a couple girls, couple guys who sent in their pictures. So I see the email, and the prize, if you guess one right, was like a fucking, I don't know, like a gift card to Dunkin' Donuts or a gift card to Starbucks. So I see a picture of a girl who I had never spoken to. I had never had a meeting with. We weren't friends on Facebook. We weren't on each other's social media at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I know that's her.
Yeah.
So I responded to the email. I guessed right. And obviously, like they then, once you like win, they send out another company email announcing the winners. So in my mind, this was the most awkward thing because I forgot that I often see this girl like walking, like my cubicle was in kind of a pretty heavily populated
Wait. So they publicize who guesses it?
They publicize who guesses it correctly first. Yeah, if you win.
Okay.
So they were like, "Oh, congratulations, Sopee Priap. You're the winner of a fucking $50 Starbucks card. Nice. You guessed. We'll call her like Molly Smith correctly." Okay. And I was like, "Oh fuck! Like I should not have done that because there was no reason."
I see.
Whatsoever that I should have known who this person
did. She? Was. Oh, so she didn't know that you know who she was?
Not until then.
So how did you know it was her? If you've never seen her before.
She had been recommended as a Facebook friend so many times that I was like, wow, that profile.
Literally, it was based off 2 pictures. Her current, it was based off her most recent and literally first picture. Couldn't have more time in between the 2 pictures.
Yes.
Good. Wow, that's pretty cool. That's like pretty stealthy, detective-y.
Yeah, it was. I guess.
But I see how that'd be weird.
It was very weird because, yeah, like I said, I would see people walking by my cube all the time. I never spoke to this girl before or after.
Well, did you see her in the office at all? Or literally just that profile picture?
I'd seen her in the office, but the profile picture was a very recent picture too.
Were you guys ever on like group like emails or anything?
Never. She worked in a completely different department.
Oh, that's weird. That's so weird. Oh man, that's good.
Yeah, so I can just imagine you being on the other end of the email being like, oh, this person guessed you right. This person that I've never fucking heard of.
Yeah.
Somehow knew that this is me.
So where did he go?
What is he up to?
So you got the email. The whole company got the email.
Whole company got the email. And then I collected my gift card.
That's weird. You guys never talked about it?
Mm-mm.
I haven't talked to her since.
No.
That is pretty weird. Did you guess anyone else or just guess her?
I 100% knew it was her.
No.
Like, there was no doubt in my mind.
Oh. No. Did you guess any other pictures?
No, because you can
just like put all your eggs in one basket. Like this is the one. I know this motherfucker is that one.
Yeah, me walking up to a raffle and just dropping all my tickets in that one box.
Yep. Just putting a blank check on a silent auction. Just walking away.
Just let me know where you're going to send the gift card.
Yep. Literally just fucking her. Teddy KGB spilling his chips all in. I know where this is going. Pay that man his money. Oh, that's so good.
Yeah. That's
so was she, I don't know if you, what did she look like? Was she like an attractive woman?
She was a fairly attractive girl. Like
would you have used it as like an icebreaker? Or was that not really on the table to like ever meet her?
I don't think that was an option.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I don't think that would have ever been a thing.
Oh, that's so weird. do at least do the pictures look similar?
Yeah.
Like if I looked at it, would I be like, oh yeah, that's her?
You'd be like, I can see it.
That's the same person. Gotcha. Yeah. It's probably more weird that you just knew her name if you've never met her.
Probably, yeah.
Right? Like if you saw those 2 pictures, I'm like, oh yeah, I could see that. But it's like, oh yeah, that's Molly Smith, who I've never met. Yeah, okay. Gotcha. Oh, that's tough. That is a pretty good icebreaker. I don't think I've ever done that one, but I've heard of it.
I was just glad that it wasn't the other way. Because that's when I'd be like, well, all right, I'm not submitting my fucking picture because there aren't too many people here that look like me.
Now, Gotcha. Did anyone get you?
I never submitted my picture.
I was going to say, if it's just like 20 white people and you, it's like, that's kind of an unfair advantage. It's like, yeah, I don't think that's Clark from accounting. So I'm going to go with that Sopee pre-app from sales, who again, I've never met, but I'm just going to take a swing at this one.
It kind of reminds me of that episode of The Office where...
I was just going to say that. Andy and Angela are looking at the pictures. Like with the baby pictures? Is that what you mean?
Oh, no. I was thinking
what were you
when
gonna
they
say?
had the black employee.
Oh, yeah.
Michael had to be like, hey, no need to be like racist towards him. He's fine. And he had been in jail.
Yeah. Great. Martin. Great scene.
Yeah. For what was it? Like insider trading?
Yeah. So it's Michael, Kevin, and I think someone else is in the conference room. And they're like, yeah, someone here's been to jail. And one person's like, oh, do you think it was so-and-so? No. Do you think it was so-and-so? No. Do you think it was Andy? No. Kevin's like, Martin? Jesus, Kevin. That's racist. He's like, what? He's like, you're saying Martin because he's black. No, he's like, you're calling Martin black. Martin is black. Yeah, great scene. But that's a great episode. Because then they do the scene when he asks Dwight to investigate it. And Dwight just has like $6 loose in his back pocket and like bends over in front of Martin's desk to grab something.
Yeah, they're all like ruffled and shit hanging out of his pocket.
So since I was taken off Netflix, I don't know if you've noticed, but it's on Comedy Central, like literally 24/7 on a loop, The Office. So it's on just as much as it used to be. I'd say up until like the last season, you could probably cancel that entire show. Like if you watched every episode like today. It's all cancelable. It's great, but at the time it was great. But yeah, there's a lot of good stuff there. One of the best ones is the basketball episode when he's like picking. He's like, all right, Jim, Ryan, Dwight, Stanley, of course. So he's like, why, of course? I don't know. And then like they start playing and he like can't even dribble. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. That is a great episode.
Have you seen the little
feeling it today? Usually make those.
There's been a little momentum on Twitter about how Rush Hour is a problematic series. Have you seen that recently? We don't need to get into it.
I've seen Rush Hour starring the black guy and the Asian guy. So I can understand where the problematics would come. Yeah, definitely. Like, Jackie Chan says the N-word in that movie.
Well, that part I forgot about, and that part I understand.
Yeah.
But there were like there were quite a few other scenes. I wish I could find the thread that people were like, yeah, this wouldn't fly today either. And I was like, oh shit, this PG-13 movie, like, yeah, I guess they're right. A lot of these jokes would not work today.
More like on the like anti-Asian side or more on the anti-black side?
I want to say it was a little bit of both.
Nice. A little mixy, a little 50-50. That's always good.
We should honestly rewatch those movies. I was thinking
live watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd watch those. They're great. I mean, I thought they were great at the time. I was 10.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd watch those again. You don't remember? I'm trying to think. Like, I really can't think of anything in particular outside of that Jackie Chan scene. Because he takes them to like somewhere in like
it's a pool
projects. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was a tough one. Yeah.
It's even weirder when I've watched the censored version, because I remember, how TNT plays the same movies over and over. That movie used to be on TNT all the time, and I remember they just changed it to the word Negro, and it's like that doesn't even that sounds so unnatural. I was like, is this even worse? Maybe.
I don't think it's better.
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
And also the way that it's dubbed, it's like that voice sounds like him, but I couldn't confidently tell you, did they have Jackie Chan come in and like re-say that line?
That's a weird thing to dub, because it's like you're admitting it's wrong, like in the movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're breaking like the fourth wall.
Right. Like it's not like he said the F word. It's like, yeah, it's a swear. We have to edit this out, obviously. They said it as a joke in the movie. And now TNT, a third party, is like, yeah, you can't say that. So we have to obviously edit this out.
Yeah, since you guys were too stupid to realize this, I guess We'll fucking patch it up for you.
There's been a few. You know about the Vince McMahon one, right?
Oh yeah.
That's, again, I don't know who's gonna like reprimand him. He's top of the totem pole, but Vince McMahon was up there. I
He
thought
put
there
a
was
lot of
another
emphasis
one.
on that one.
Yeah, I know Booker T did, but that's a different scenario, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Did he say it to Booker T? Vince? I think he said it to John Cena. I'm surprised John Cena hasn't slipped it, whether scripted or non-scripted. Thugonomics, John Cena.
Who did I see recently brought up?
That might be the best type of Twitter thread, like just like problematic WWE like
oh
moments.
My God.
You could literally go on for a weekend and just like watch 2-minute clips nonstop.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. Just awful. And I remember that's the joke that like when they went to Peacock, like, all right, like we're going to go back and remove any problematic content. It's like, all right, so like 1997 through 2001 are a wash. Like, you might as well just cut out the entire Attitude Era. Oh, man. Vince, I think Vince has to be up there with like the uncancelables. Like if he hasn't been formally like socially canceled by now, I don't know.
I think
whether it's right or wrong, like I don't know what we're missing. But
honestly, if I had to make like a Mount Rushmore of people who should be canceled but aren't, or
people who should be in
other
prison.
people think should be canceled, it probably goes something like Trump, McMahon, and Portnoy. And I can't think of who would be the fourth, but I feel like if you swapped bodies of all three of those people, they'd be like, oh, well, I'm just the same person. Like if you could take the soul out of McMahon and put him into Portnoy, he'd be like
a Freaky Friday of Donald Trump and Vince McMahon.
Oh, what's the difference here?
Cool. Yeah. Instead of going to WWE headquarters, I'm going to the Oval Office, I guess. Oh man. A lot of grown men calling women bitches. A lot of just naked women on cable television. I know it's fake, but I still don't get how a doctor allowed them to do some of the Mae Young, like Fabulous Moolah stuff. Even if Mae Young were to fall at her house, like she'd break her hip. So I genuinely don't physically know how they did some of those stunts. Like the Dudley Boys.
Part.
Oh yeah. We'll start with the physical part, like the violent part. Like Bubba Ray Dudley deserves some sort of award for somehow power slamming her through 2 tables and not like killing her. Like, I don't know how you do that choreography.
I always forget, but the Dudley Boys were the ones that basically looked no more like each other than me and you.
Correct. Some would argue even more of a contrast between them. They were also the ones from that ECW cutout, the Harlem Heat or fucking Heat Wave 97 or whatever it was. But yeah, like the things like you can't fake that. Like Mae Young was a 70-year-old woman getting slammed through a table off of the ramp.
Yeah.
I genuinely don't know how they did that. It might have been CGI, like looking back. Because if you're that woman and you slip in your house, like you probably call the hospital.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So I genuinely don't know how they did it.
If you were to hit,
unless you did actually die
from like a foot off the ground,
you're in trouble.
Fucked up.
You're in trouble. You're calling life alert. Like you're in big trouble. Mm-hmm. Unless, like I said, she did die and they just covered it up by just hiring someone else who kind of looked like her and brought her back like for Thursday Night SmackDown to do it again. I think we talked about the Bolios, or even if you go back to the early 90s. Speaking of Iran, like during the middle of Desert Storm, they would just have Hulk Hogan versus the Iron Sheik or like Sergeant Slaughter, and they would just burn flags in the middle of the ring.
Wait, Sergeant Slaughter was a foreigner?
I think he was an American like drill sergeant.
Oh, and
I think they wrote him heel, and I became a
sympathizer.
Yeah, I'm paraphrasing here, but he more or less like tag teamed with Saddam Hussein and like fought Hulk Hogan like at WrestleMania. It's tough, and I was 5 years old. Get like all about it. Yeah. What else? Triple H roofing the CEO's daughter and marrying her in Vegas. Val Venus getting his penis chopped off by Kai and Tai. Oh boy,
that's just the PG stuff.
Yeah, and that wasn't even pay-per-view. That was on cable at 8 p.m. on a Monday. Uh, what else? I think that's
I have
all
a
the big
question.
ones. Yeah, go ahead.
So have they cleaned up like this? I know they've cleaned up a lot.
Oh hell yeah, it's like
Um,
TV PG now.
well, what about like the female wrestlers? Are they sexualized at all, or are they just strictly female wrestlers?
They're just like good wrestlers now. Like you
Okay,
actually
because
have to be a good wrestler to like be a wrestler in the WWE now.
I see like do you
You don't just
follow
have to
Jimmy
have like
Stewart?
huge tits. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and every time I see him tweeting about like his favorite female wrestler, I'm like, dude, are you just being horny on Twitter, or is she a good female wrestler?
No, they're well, I don't know if they're good or not, but they're written and put out there as like their actual matches.
Okay,
Like, dude,
so they're not out to...
the women's matches were like lingerie matches, or like they'd wrestle in like a tub of jelly. Like that was like a women's wrestling match.
Yeah.
Now, like they're competing in actual like physical matches. I'm not going to say if I like it better or not, but that's just the way the world is now. That's what happens when you let freaking lamestream media pressure you into doing certain things.
We got to next time that we have Wody on, we definitely got to talk some wrestling. I would like to facilitate.
I say we just pull up a thread. Yeah, just pull up a thread and go through it. You saw the Bradshaw one, right? That went viral somewhat recently.
No, which one?
Oh boy, this came out like, I think a couple weeks ago. I don't remember it all. It was like in the mid 2000s, I think, when I really wasn't watching wrestling. Do you remember Bradshaw, like from Farouk and Bradshaw, the Apocalypse?
The name sounds familiar.
He went to JBL. He's basically like
the speaker company.
No, that's JBC, I think, or something. JVC. Something totally different from what I'm talking about. Okay. His character was, I'm probably butchering this, but he's basically like a Texas, like, not like oil tycoon, but like a rich, I think you see where I'm going with this, but like basically a rich guy.
Picture. Yeah.
A rich guy from Texas. If you have the clip, I'd love to see it, but it's something along the lines of him like kicking a bunch of like illegal immigrants out of the border or something, or something along those lines. Just take rich Texas guy with illegal immigrants and let Vince just fill in the rest. But that's pretty much how it went. Let Vince get some pen to paper and finish the rest.
I was going to say, or I could just use my imagination in 2021 and I know where that's going.
Yeah.
Real quick. I'm sure you have the image of that Bradshaw in your head. You can picture what he looks like, right?
Afraid so. Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is what he looks like now.
I think that was the same character, pretty much. No, I'm serious. Like he was a well put together, like distinguished, like rich guy.
Yeah.
So, boy, I don't know.
Oh wow. He is currently a financial commentator featured regularly on guess which major news network?
Either Newsmax or OAN or Fox.
There we go.
Yeah. The most mainstream one of the three.
Yep.
But yeah. Really?
Yeah.
That's a weird transition.
So it says he's an American businessman, television personality, and retired professional wrestler from WWE.
Racist. Retired wrestler, practicing racist.
Yeah. Presently active racist.
Part-time wrestler, full-time racist. JBL racism, and friends in the morning.
Racism years active, date of birth to fill in the blank.
Racism and Wrestling, hosted by JBL on Fox News from 1 to 3 a.m. weekdays.
And he really is from Sweetwater, Texas, which couldn't be a more like Texas name.
Dirty water. That's sweet water. I think you pointed this out too, but very happy to see like Stone Cold Steve Austin. Good guy.
Oh yeah.
Outside of the ring. That was
unbelievable.
Truly unbelievable. He played the part well. He looked like fucking Matt Damon in that Stillwater movie. I don't know if you've seen like the previews for that. Mm-hmm. A camo jacket, jean shorts, chugging beers. That could have gone one of two ways.
The knee brace.
The copper fit knee brace. Oh.
I like that his black boots just looked like basically cop boots almost.
Mm-hmm. Never mind. He's dead. I was going to say Big Boss Man has to be racist, but he's been dead for like 20 years.
I'm sure he's still racist, though.
I'm surprised. Nah, never mind. Imagine if some of the things that were happening in 2020 were happening in like 1998 and it was fair game to write these in. Back the blue, the cap, January 6th.
Oh my God.
COVID. Oh boy. Literally like just writes a character that's just like a COVID germ who like runs out and just fucking sneezes on people. The anti-vaxxers tag team champions. Just cut off shirts with like the red circle through the vaccine shot.
Vince McMahon would definitely have a cop fighting a guy who kneels for the anthem.
Oh, inevitable. They'd have like, I know they couldn't get Colin Kaepernick, so they'd get the next best thing. Who was like the other Colin Kaepernick? Eric Reed, the safety. They'd get him. They'd get a not as famous protester, and they have Big Boss Man like handcuff him and fucking beat the shit out of him on TV. Actually, Donald Trump was on WWE around that time, so we're not too far off.
Isn't he in like the? I think he says he's in the WWE Hall of Fame.
HOF, buddy. Yep. We've had a handful of Hall of Fame debates on the show. We haven't quite gotten into the WWE one yet.
Was he?
Maybe we'll save that for a deep dive.
Did he have only a couple many appearances?
He was on a couple pay-per-views. He had a match. Oh God, I think it was Stone Cold versus someone. In the loser, Vince McMahon represented one, Donald Trump represented one. And the loser of the wrestlers who fought had to get their head shaved. Vince lost, obviously, but yeah, he had lines. Like he was written into the program.
Yeah, Vince would have he would have just like straight up liberals versus conservatives as a tag team match.
Yep.
Nancy Pelosi on one side, and
left versus right for the tag team championship.
Marjorie Green Taylor on the other side.
Yep. Ben Shapiro, Donald Trump Jr. versus I don't know, AOC and fucking
Bakari Sellers.
Yeah, special guest referee Clay Travis. Oh man.
Oh,
I might apply for a job at WWE Creative. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say the fourth round Mount Rushmore of just like problematic people. It's a tie between Clay Travis because he has the platform now, and the Action Park founder, because that guy was also a fucking nut job and friends with Trump.
Yeah, he didn't strike me as racist though. He struck me as just crazy.
Yeah,
I don't think he really.
Well, they never asked
what race you were.
Debate questions.
Yeah, that's true. Before his time.
So yeah,
that's an uncle of yours, right?
Yeah. Uncle Eddie Action.
Last here, we'll end here because you brought up HBO. We'll get more into this later, but we talked offline. I did watch Barry, season 1.
Hell yeah!
Can't thank you enough. Great show. Like, and I think it has a decent like cult following. We've seen like from Twitter. Like, if you watch it, you like it. Mm-hmm. It's not like an indeferential popular show people just feel they need to tune into. You should. It's awesome because 30-minute episodes, 8 episodes a season. So I watched like 2 before work, 2 after work, and I finished the first season in like 3 days. I haven't started season 2 yet. So maybe we'll wait. Maybe next time we'll talk some Barry season 1 and then can get into season 2. And then when does season 3 come out? Anytime soon?
I don't think it's anytime soon.
They started filming, right?
Yeah, but what I do like is that they're filming 3 and 4 back to back. So they'll have them out pretty quick. I meant to ask you if you're a Dexter fan. Did you watch that?
Yeah, I was. I don't think I finished it in total. It got kind of weird. There was a time when peak Dexter was very good. Like seasons like 3, 4, 5 or whatever. But then I don't know. Most shows
pretty good.
For the new one?
Yeah.
I'll believe it when I see it. I've still yet to see a show or a movie like do a comeback and have it be good.
Yeah.
Unless you can think of one I'm forgetting.
Nope.
Okay. So I kind of got to trust the science on this one. It hasn't been clinically proven in clinical studies yet. So we'll see. They said the same thing. I know Game of Thrones, I think, is doing a prequel. That'll probably blow. Sopranos movie looks good, but it'll probably stink. I'm not a big Curb Your Enthusiasm guy, but I heard the new Curb was good. I should watch that. I know I'd love it. Every time I see a clip of it, I think it's like one of the funniest things I've ever seen. I just need to like actually watch it. I'm trying to think what else. Is
Oh,
the Everyone Loves Raymond reboot any good? Can't be better than the original. The Friends reunion. Friends reunion was good. Emmy nominated Friends reunion was good.
You still haven't signed the petition that I sent over for the Raymond one.
Petition to what? Get it going?
Get it into production, yeah.
Nah, pissed on it.
We only need a couple more million signatures.
I don't know how they can get off calling it Everybody Loves Raymond when I know for a fact I hate it. So it's not. It should be everybody but at least one person loves Raymond.
Most of the other characters on the show hated him.
You do think it's real? You weren't being sarcastic. You think that's a funny show? What at least the least funny comedy on TV? Like widely acclaimed comedy? Big Bang? Young Sheldon? Those got to be up there.
How I Met Your Mother.
I knew you were going to say that. I don't think it's that funny, but I do love it. I've seen it in its entirety multiple times. It's a good show. Not funny. But you have to, if you look at it like a pie chart, remember Jason Segel is one of the main guys, and he's the worst actor of all time. He's the worst comedy actor of all time. I think we both agree on that pretty hardly.
It's not still going, is it?
No, he met the mother.
Fucking Christ.
Yeah.
Wait, I didn't mean to sidetrack you though. What were you going to say more on Barry?
No, I mean, it's good. It's good because it's like, it is kind of a niche sense of humor, but if that's your sense of humor, it's hilarious. Like
every joke like hits it out of the park if you like that type of humor.
Correct. If you don't, probably don't think it's that funny. But yeah, great characters. Even like the main, like honestly, like Bill Hader, I love. I don't think he's in my top 5 best characters in the show. Like there's just so many. All the guys like on NoHo Hank's team are great. Like the whatever Bolivians or whatever they are, the guys from Bolivia. NoHo Hank, Henry Winkler, obviously is like. We've known each other for a while. If you follow our show, you probably see we have kind of a niche sense of humor. Like that character is written for people like you and I to watch and laugh. He is so fucking good, dude. Every line is so good. Like when he gets into his serious like moments to like give like kids in his class like lessons, it's just so good.
Even the very first episode where Barry approaches him at the end of the episode to be like, telling him that he's giving up, he's not coming back to his class. I think he says something first like, hey, Mr. Cousineau, I got some bad news. I don't think I'm going to be coming back to the class. And Henry Winkler just is like, okay. And then starts to like roll up his window to like drive away.
Yeah. No, there's one point too. I thought you were going to mention this. I think he comes up to him and he's like, he does like this big scene. One of the first scenes he does, he goes up to him and was like, what the fuck was that? Stuff like that. That sure as fuck wasn't acting. You mentioned this too. His relationship with and again, remember, I'm only through season 1, but his relationship with the detective is terrific as well. Up till the end of season 1. I don't know what happens after that. Well, I know how season 1 ended, but so yeah, I guess it is up to that point. But up to that point, his relationship with the detective is so good. That scene when they first go to dinner, I think that was probably his best scene. Just like how he woos her like throughout the entire show is so good. So good. And he's trying to like get her to stay. And he's just like, hey, I ordered you like some chicken meal. He's like, if that's not the best if that's not the best goddamn piece of poultry you've ever put in your mouth, I'll let you kick me square in the genitals. Beautifully written show. And then like you said, well, and NoHo Hank is great. I've actually seen that guy in a couple other things. He's in the new Kevin Hart movie. Not as funny in that movie, but just like such a cool guy. Yeah. I love that fucking guy. I'd do anything for that guy. He's such a great written character.
Him showing the sex tape in like the first 10 minutes of the show where he's showing his boss's sex tape being like, well, I thought we needed to like get the point across.
Yeah. Yep.
Fuchs
soda, submarine sandwich. Oh, Fuchs is great. Great. They're all good. Fuchs is great. I have a interesting Dexter comparison. We've talked about Dexter's girlfriend, right? And the fact that I can't stand her in like season 4, Rita. I think she's one of the worst characters in television history. Have we talked about this?
You're not talking about Julia Stiles, right?
No. No problem with her.
Okay, go ahead.
The girl in the barrel?
Yeah.
I like her. Good origin story. You know Rita, right? His girlfriend from like 3 and 4, who I think dies in like season 4. Spoiler alert. Oh God, I hated her. She was up there with fucking the chick
Carrie
from
Matheson.
Homeland. Is that her?
That's the character in Homeland's name. Yeah, I knew you were going there.
Yeah, not a big fan. I really can't stand Sally in Barry so far. Is that her name? His girlfriend?
Oh, yeah.
I hate her. I hate her. She's not funny. Terrible actress. She's a bitch. Not a fan. I don't know if she gets better in season 2. Maybe I'll watch season 2 this weekend just so we can actually talk about everything.
Yeah. It's the other thing is that the show is so easy to follow too. Like it's
Totally.
nothing heavy. It's just fucking nonsense.
It kind of reminds, it's like, it has a little Dexter. It's like a lighter Dexter, kind of, you know,
much lighter Dexter.
A lighter Dexter kind of has a little bit of Weeds. Like, did you watch Weeds? Weeds was a great show. It was like comedy centered around like something serious, obviously. You know, it's like goofy people who should not be involved in like these serious, you know, like lifestyles. So yeah, Barry's really good. It's one of those shows where I just needed a little nudge. I know you and a couple other people on Twitter finally pushed me. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. Like I said, it's on HBO Max. You can probably knock out both seasons in a week. And then once the new season starts, we can talk about that like on a weekly basis once it starts coming out. We need a new show to get into weekly. That's probably the best one.
I was thinking, since I have Apple TV, I've been fighting this show off, but I heard even more about it recently, and it just came out with season 2.
Ted Lasso? Yeah, I heard that's incredible. I think I have Apple TV. I can fumble my way into an Apple TV subscription, I think.
Oh, I was going to say this scene also from, because I was just rewatching the first episode of Barry earlier. When Fuchs sends him on the new mission, Barry arrives at like the airport parking lot, and Fuchs is like, "Oh yeah, Barry,
top end car.
Yeah, I had my buddy set you up with the top of line car. Go to row fucking C20. It should be there." Barry looks up, and it's like a turquoise '93
Ford Taurus.
Station wagon. And then he mails him a gun without a silencer.
Yeah. Let's end here for real. Do you want to enlighten our audience verbally on you and your dad's text message exchange over the weekend? I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was really good.
These are stories unto their own, but yeah, basically, my dad, anytime that he needs technical help, reaches out to me, and usually the text message is just the tip of the iceberg. Yeah, because that's usually the cap on like a 90-minute phone conversation where all I'm doing is walking him through like resetting his passwords and stuff. And then he has me. Even if he'll take like my stepmom's phone, log in through there while FaceTiming me from his phone. That way he can be like, "Hey, look at this phone on FaceTime. Can you read me the letters that I need to type into your stepmom's phone?" Yeah. So it's just like a bunch of, he makes it very difficult. But I was texting him the other day because he was trying to set up his Roku. Yeah. And he was like, "All right, what's your Netflix password? Hope you're not sleeping yet."
What time was it? Because I did see that.
11:30 at night.
Oh, geez.
On a Sunday. I said, "Not yet." And this is what it is for all lowercase letters. Yeah. He goes, "All right." And Hulu. And immediately when he said that, I was like, he's not going to want to hear this. But I said, "Do you use that one that much? It's different. And it's a very long password. So here's the username. And here's the password." Why'd you say that?
He wouldn't be able to do Hulu, you don't think?
If you saw the password, I'll send you what the actual password was.
No, it's okay.
Well, no, it's a random. It's not.
Just put it in the show notes.
It's not a word and numbers. It's my buddy's Hulu. So he took like, it's probably 15 letters long, and one of it's letters, numbers, completely jumbled, and one of the characters is a underscore, and I was like, my dad's not.
Oh God,
that is
game over. Yeah,
there's no way he's not to be able to find that. And I said, I don't think you could use it that much, Hulu, but that's the information if you want it. And he just said, "Forget it, buddy." I said, "Okay." He goes, "Too much for me on that one."
Yeah, for that reason, I'm out.
So,
oh, man, as soon as he asked for Hulu, it's like, "Yeah, I'm not awake anymore." Get it, buddy. Oh, yeah. That's tough. Jeez Louise.
And that's tech support with my dad.
I'm trying to like what the best response would be. All right, buddy is probably up there. I've heard enough.
I wish he had said, "Forget it, pal."
Yeah, forget it, pal. Why don't you get some beauty sleep, you little bitch?
No thanks, Chief.
Jeez. All right, compadre. No Hulu for daddy. Jeez, is that tough?
So if anyone has a Hulu password, that's easy. Send it.
Does he have Facebook?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, that'd be great if you have that text exchange. You just see him post like 20 minutes later watching Netflix, catching up on a little Netflix. Guess I'm not ready for Hulu yet.
or
wow.
if he forgets that I'm on Facebook and he posted that very same screenshot, but from his perspective, and he's like, well, I would have Hulu if it wasn't for my little bitch boy son.
Wow. Sorry, son. Guess I can't watch your precious Hulu account without circuit breaking. This is a good story to clip.
Yeah.
I'd like to see what other people think about this. Just like parents and technology in general is always good. Parents talking to their millennial kids about technology is so good. I wanted to mention this too. I'm not going to have you say it on the air, but you let me borrow your HBO logins the other day. Your HBO password is fantastic. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Oh,
have you noticed the profiles that were in there?
A couple of them. Yeah. Very good for you. I'll leave it at that. Yeah. Very, very good profiles. All right.
And
I think we're good here.
Password sharing.
Yeah. Seriously, we should do a dive. I bet I can find some good examples too from conversations I've had with people. You know how my dad talks through text. Like they're all good. Straight to the point. No bullshit. No wasted letters. And I think your dad did the same thing. All right, buddy. Yeah. Like we're good here. You know what? Don't waste my fucking time. Go to sleep. I guess I'll just catch up on Last Chance U or something on Netflix.
Both very enthusiastic texters.
What would he want to watch on Hulu? What's like what do people buy Hulu for?
That's what I was going to say to him. If it ever got to that, I was going to be like, I don't think you understand.
Just trust me on this one, old man. You don't want nothing to do with this.
You don't need this.
Just trust me. Oh, you don't have to do this. What?
I haven't told you this really quick.
Yeah, you're good.
No
one's listening at this point anyway. Go ahead.
One of the reasons that my dad is frequently asking for streaming site logins, and this has been multiple occasions, is to watch Liam Neeson movies.
Oh, Jesus. Go to hell. What a weird thing to proactively do. That's a separate topic.
Yeah.
I haven't said that on the airwaves.
This man loves the Taken like series, trilogy, whatever you call it. My dad,
bottom three. Those are
I assume is the reason that movie continued for multiple sequels. Just watches the shit out of it.
Your dad's just the Michael Jackson gif with the popcorn at the movie theater. Every time the Thriller, every time TBS rolls it over to the next one. Oh man, Liam Neeson. I'm trying to think my favorite movie with him. Any movie he dies. So Star Wars is up there.
Oh, I forgot.
Sooner the better.
Batman Begins. Do you like him in that?
Nope. Great movie outside of him.
Yeah, I agree.
I'd put him below Jason Segel comfortably. I'm serious.
You talk about being typecasted. It's like
someone took your family. Go ahead. But this time you're on a plane, and this time you're on a boat, and this time you're in space.
Who do you think has been like typecasted the hardest in Hollywood? I feel like Kevin Hart's up there. I'm just like spitballing. I think like Kevin Hart, Liam Neeson, to a certain extent Will Ferrell, but he's good at what he does.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Wahlberg, kind of.
I know there's that thing that's gone around. I've seen it before. There's this actor who literally plays like a Mexican drug dealer named Hector in every movie he's in. Have you ever seen that before?
I haven't seen that.
He's in Training Day. It's his IMDb is literally just Hector, like a drug dealer. I don't know. I was gonna say maybe Channing Tatum, but that's just like action movies. I don't know how specific that is outside of Jump Street and Magic Mike and Step Up. So I guess not at all.
I was gonna say Vin Diesel, but then I'm just thinking of one franchise of movies.
He's been in 12 movies playing the same guy. Yeah. I mean, I could say Mark Hamill. He's typecast as Luke Skywalker because I think that's all he's done.
I'll never think of him as anything else.
Han Solo. Harrison Ford's kind of like a Liam Neeson, an action movie where he's like saving someone.
A much better version.
Oh, much better version. I would take Harrison Ford's worst movie over Liam Neeson's quote unquote best movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'd take Liam Neeson's prime under Harrison Ford's floor. Whatever that would be. Nah, I don't like comedy. I would say like Chris Farley, but it's just like slapstick comedy, like Jim Carrey too, I guess, in like the 90s.
Oh, I would say Adam Sandler. Once he jumped the shark. But yeah, same thing.
He just plays that's actually a really good one. You play a stupid like slapstick guy, but we're just gonna put you and Drew Barrymore in different scenarios, and make like $100 million each time. But anyway, I don't even know what to call this episode. I don't remember what we talked about.
I
think we talked about Aaron Rodgers and Randall Cobb,
the Olympics,
your dad's streaming services,
a little bit
wrestling.
Of wrestling.
Oh yeah, definitely got into a deep dive on pertinent NBA info. So I think we can still market it as a basketball podcast on Apple. So that's good.
Oh, and being a creep at work.
I'm just not getting a really weird work story. That might be a good fun report story. I'd be curious to see what those shitheads have to say about it.
Yeah.
But anyway, I need to log off and make some dinner. See you next time, buddy.
All right.
Have a good evening. See you guys. Peace.
Peace.